Tampa, Florida, Tuesday night. A silver Toyota wrapped around a street pole like crumpled paper, red and blue lights carving through the darkness. A woman in handcuffs, barefoot on the hot asphalt, mascara bleeding down her cheeks. Her voice cracks as she whispers to the officer, "I told him to stop. I begged him, but he laughed." The air smells like burnt rubber and regret. Neighbors stood frozen on their porches, some recording, others praying. One man would later tell reporters, "I heard her scream before I heard the crash. It was the kind of scream that stays with you." What could drive a wife, a mother of two, to step into the road that night and make a choice she could never undo? What breaks a person so completely that reason vanishes and fury takes the wheel? This is not a story about evil. This is a story about pain. And tonight, you're going to hear how love, lies, and one terrible moment collided in a way no one saw coming. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're new here, click on the subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Monica Harris was 34 years old, a registered nurse at Tampa General Hospital, and the kind of woman who remembered everyone's birthday. She had 2 daughters, 7 and 9, who called her their superhero. She worked night shifts, packed lunches with handwritten notes, and still found time to volunteer at the community center on Sundays. Her husband, Derek, was 37, a car dealer with a smile that could sell ice in winter. They met at a barbecue in Clearwater Beach 9 years ago. He made her laugh so hard she spilled her drink. 6 months later, they were married. For a while, it was everything she dreamed of. Date nights under string lights, weekend road trips with the girls singing in the back seat, photos framed on every wall. But somewhere along the way, Derek started staying late. His phone became a vault. His kisses felt like obligations. Monica told herself it was stress. The dealership was competitive. He was working hard for them, but deep down, in the pit of her stomach, she knew. She knew before she had proof. She knew before she found the receipts. She knew because love, when it starts to die, doesn't go quietly. It hums, it aches, it whispers warnings you don't want to hear. And Monica ignored every single one until she couldn't anymore. It started with cologne. Derek never wore cologne before. Now he smelled like cedarwood and something floral. When Monica asked, he said a client gifted it to him. Then came the password on his phone, a 6-digit code she didn't know. When she asked why, he laughed it off. "You're being paranoid, babe." But paranoia has a way of being right. Late-night calls became routine. He'd step outside, voice low, laughing at things that weren't funny when he came back in. One Saturday, he said he had an auction in Orlando. Monica called the dealership Monday morning. No auction, no Derek. Her friend Jenna saw his car parked outside a gym on Dale Mabry Highway. Not once, 3 times. Monica's hands shook as she held her coffee that morning. She wanted to scream. She wanted to cry. Instead, she smiled at her daughters and asked what they wanted for breakfast. That's what mothers do. They hold it together even when everything inside them is falling apart. She started paying attention. Really paying attention. A lipstick stain on the passenger seat. A receipt from a hotel she'd never been to. A text notification that flashed before he could swipe it away. "Can't wait to see you tonight." Monica didn't sleep that night, or the next. She lay beside him, listening to his breathing, wondering if he dreamed of someone else. And then one morning, she made a decision. She installed a location tracker app on his phone while he was in the shower. Her heart pounded so hard she thought he'd hear it through the walls. But he didn't notice. He kissed her forehead, grabbed his keys, and left. And Monica watched the little blue dot on her screen move across the city like a countdown to something she wasn't ready for. For 3 weeks, Monica followed that dot. She learned his patterns. Tuesday nights, he went to a restaurant off Bayshore Boulevard. Thursday afternoons, a parking lot near a fitness studio. Saturday mornings, a coffee shop she'd never heard of. She told herself she was crazy. She told herself to stop, but she couldn't. because knowing is better than wondering, even when knowing destroys you. One Thursday, she decided to see for herself. She called in sick to work, dropped the girls at her mother's house, and drove to Dale Mabry. Her hands gripped the steering wheel so tight her knuckles turned white. She parked 3 rows back, engine off, windows cracked, and she waited. 20 minutes later, Derek's car pulled in. He stepped out, checked his phone, smiled. Then she appeared. Tall, fit, long dark hair pulled into a ponytail, yoga pants and a cropped tank top. She was younger than Monica. Prettier, maybe. Or maybe that's just what betrayal does. It makes you doubt everything, even your own reflection. They hugged. Not a friendly hug. A familiar one. The kind that said this wasn't new. Derek opened the car door for her. They drove off together. Monica sat there, frozen, tears streaming down her face, tasting salt and rage. She wanted to follow them. She wanted to scream. Instead, she drove home, walked into her bathroom, and threw up. That night, Derek came home late. He kissed her on the cheek and said he was exhausted. Monica stared at him and said nothing. Because what do you say to a man who's become a stranger? Tuesday, June 11th. The air was thick and heavy, the kind of Florida heat that clings to your skin. Monica told Derek she was working a double shift. She wasn't. She waited until he left, then she followed. No headlights, just the glow of her phone screen and the little blue dot moving toward Bayshore. He parked behind a seafood restaurant, tucked into a corner of the lot where the streetlights didn't reach. Monica parked 50 feet away, hidden behind a delivery truck. Her breath came fast and shallow. Her chest felt like it was caving in. She saw his car, the windows fogged, music playing softly inside. She stepped out of her car. Her legs felt like concrete. The smell of salt water and fried fish filled the air. She walked closer, closer, until she could see the silhouette of 2 people inside, his hand on her face. Her laugh, muffled but unmistakable. Monica's vision blurred. Her ears rang, and then she screamed. Not a word, just sound. Pure, guttural, shattered sound. Derek's head snapped toward the window. The woman inside gasped. The car door flew open and Derek stumbled out, shirt half-buttoned, eyes wide. "Monica! Monica, wait! It's not what?" she shouted. "Not what I think? Not what it looks like?" Her voice cracked. "How long, Derek? How long have you been doing this?" He reached for her. She stepped back. Don't you dare touch me." The woman got out of the car, clutching her purse, eyes darting. "I didn't know," she stammered. "He told me you were separated." Monica laughed. A hollow, broken laugh. "Separated. We have 2 kids at home. We share a bed. Does that sound separated to you?" The woman looked at Derek, betrayal dawning on her face too. But Monica didn't care about her. She cared about him, the man who promised forever, the man who shattered it in the back seat of a car. Monica turned and walked back to her car. Derek followed, shouting, "Monica, please, let's talk about this. Don't do this." She got in, slammed the door, started the engine. Her hands were shaking so hard she could barely grip the wheel. Her vision swam with tears. She thought about her daughters. She thought about the life she built. She thought about every lie, every late night, every kiss that meant nothing. And something inside her snapped. Not a decision, not a plan, just pure, unfiltered rage. She put the car in reverse, tires screeching. Derek jumped back. The other woman screamed. Monica circled the lot once, twice. Her foot pressed harder on the gas. She wasn't thinking. She wasn't seeing straight. She was just feeling, and feeling had taken over. Derek stood in the middle of the lot, hands up. "Monica, stop!" She aimed for his car. Not him, his car, the place where it happened, the place where her marriage died. She floored it. The impact was deafening. Metal crunched, glass shattered. The airbag exploded in her face. Everything went silent. Then the sirens started. Neighbors poured out of nearby apartments. Someone was shouting. Someone was crying. Monica sat in the driver's seat, face buried in her hands, airbag dust choking her lungs. She didn't run. She didn't move. She just sat there as the world closed in around her. Derek and the woman, whose name was Sierra, were taken to the hospital. Derek had a broken collarbone and lacerations. Sierra had a sprained wrist and shock. Monica was arrested on the scene, handcuffed, read her rights, loaded into the back of a patrol car while bystanders filmed on their phones. At the station, she sat in a cold, fluorescent room, staring at nothing. A detective asked her what happened. She spoke slowly, like she was underwater. "I saw them, together, in his car. I told him to stop lying. But he laughed. He always laughed." The detective wrote it down. "Did you intend to hurt him?" She looked up, eyes hollow. "I didn't intend anything. I just wanted him to see me, to see what he did." Her daughters were staying with her mother. Monica's sister called the jail, sobbing. "What were you thinking? The girls are asking for you." Monica closed her eyes. "I don't know. I wasn't thinking. I couldn't breathe." The local news picked it up. Headlines screamed, "Tampa nurse crashes into husband's car after discovering affair." Some people called her a monster. Others said they understood. Online forums exploded with debate. She snapped. "She's dangerous. He deserved it. No one deserves that." But none of them knew what it felt like. To give someone everything, to be betrayed, to feel your heart rip in half while the world keeps spinning like nothing happened. 3 months later, Monica stood in front of a judge. Her lawyer argued emotional distress, temporary insanity, a mental break caused by prolonged psychological abuse. The prosecutor painted her as violent, reckless, a danger to society. Derek testified. His arm was still in a sling. He spoke quietly, eyes down. "I made mistakes. I hurt her. I'm not proud of it. But what she did that night, it wasn't right either." Sierra didn't testify. She'd moved back to Georgia, wanted nothing to do with any of it. Monica's daughters sat in the gallery with their grandmother, too young to understand, but old enough to know something was terribly wrong. When it was Monica's turn to speak, she stood, hands folded. "I'm not asking for forgiveness. I know what I did. I live with it every day. But I want my daughters to know I didn't do it out of hate. I did it because I was in so much pain. I couldn't see past it. And that's on me." Her voice broke. "I'm sorry. To everyone. Especially to them." The judge sentenced her to 3 years probation, mandatory therapy, and community service. No jail time. The courtroom erupted. Some cheered, some booed. Monica just stood there, tears streaming down her face, finally able to breathe. A week before her sentencing was finalized, Derek visited her. She almost didn't take the meeting, but curiosity, or maybe hope, made her say yes. They sat across from each other in a sterile room, a guard by the door. Derek looked older, tired. "I dropped the civil suit," he said. Monica blinked. "Why?" "Because you're right. I destroyed us. I lied. I hurt you, and you didn't deserve any of it." He rubbed his face. "The girls need their mom. I'm not taking that away from them." Monica's throat tightened. "You think this fixes it?" "No," he said, "nothing fixes it. But maybe it's a start." For the first time in months, Monica cried. Not from anger, not from pain, from something close to release. Derek reached across the table, hesitated, then pulled back. "I'm moving to Georgia. Starting over. The girls can visit when they're ready." Monica nodded. "Take care of yourself, Derek." He stood, paused at the door. "I'm sorry, Monica, for all of it." And then he was gone. Monica Harris completed her probation. She moved in with her mother and returned to nursing part-time. Her daughters slowly began to trust her again. It wasn't easy. It never is. But healing doesn't come in a straight line. It comes in small moments. A hug that lasts a little longer. A laugh that doesn't feel forced. A night where the weight on your chest finally lifts, even just a little. Some people say Monica lost her mind that night. Others say she found the truth. But maybe she was just a reflection of what betrayal does when the heart is pushed past breaking. Maybe she was human, flawed, broken, but still standing, because that's what survivors do. They fall apart, and then, piece by piece, they rebuild. If you were in Monica's position, what would you have done? Could you have walked away? Could you have forgiven? Or would you have made the same choice she did? Let us know in the comments. And if this story made you feel something, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more real-life stories that will stay with you long after they end. Because the truth is, we're all one bad moment away from becoming someone we never thought we'd be.